Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has promised to conduct a congressional investigation into whether or not former President Barack Hussein Obama illegally wiretapped Trump Towers. Lindsey Graham said that both he and Sheldon Whiteman were going to reach out to Director of FBI James Comey to determine the validity of Trump's claim. Did they forget that James Comey worked for Obama? Obama denied the accusations, claiming that he never wiretapped Trump during the presidential election and that the accusations are baseless. By the silence in the mainstream media and the skepticism extending from the Republican Party as far as whether or not Donald Trump is speaking the truth, we can all draw the conclusion that neither the mainstream media nor the intelligence community actually knows what's going on, and it's because they all rely on the national mainstream media for their information source, whereas Donald Trump listens to select national and international media for his information source. The White House claims that it only relies on 4 credible news sources for its information source: Fox News, BBC, History, and New York Times. Now, taking that into consideration, we can now follow the trail of information back to what makes up Obamagate. Historical denialism is an extension not only of the revising of history as it occurred, but also of the omission of information from recorded history, which is exactly what the mainstream media does. The liberal/globalist presence plays a major role in what people believe is good and real and what people believe is bad or fake. Someone like the video investigation from Project Verita, which exposed 2 Democratic strategists committing voter fraud and paying violent agitators, it was only covered by 1 conservative news source, yet a lady got caught voting in 2 different states for Trump, and every liberal mainstream outlet covered it. This is how they influence perception of who's right and who's good and who's bad and what's wrong. So with that being stated, just understand that very few news outlets can be used as credible news sources. The best thing sometimes to do is just take a little bit of time out and do some research yourself. Now let's talk about Donald Trump and why he concluded that Obama was wiretapping him during his presidential election, since the mainstream media and everybody else seems to have forgotten. On June of 2016, the Obama administration filed a request with the FISA court for foreign intelligence and surveillance to monitor Donald J. Trump and a few of his advisors, a request that was denied due to a lack of broadness, according to a report from The Guardian. On October 15th, Obama submitted a new request focused on a computer server in Trump Towers, which supposedly they believe had ties to 2 Russian banks, SVB Bank and Alpha Bank. And according to Andrew McCarthy's National Review note, even after the investigation was conducted and they concluded that there was no evidence to pursue it, Obama declared it a national security matter in order to use that as a pretext to continue wiretapping Trump. Let's take into account that the only reason the FISA court warrant was granted was because the FBI was already conducting an investigation against Donald Trump for a supposed secret channel of emails between Donald Trump and Russia. This was an accusation made with absolutely no evidence, and even after the investigation, they found no evidence. Let's also remember that on January of 2017, Senator John McCain released documents to Director of FBI James Comey, implying that Donald Trump had secret contacts with Russia and that Russia had implicating material on Trump. So let me get this right. 2 months after the election, Donald Trump is still being surveilled and still being accused of Russian ties. And another question, where did John McCain get this information from? He never released any names. Seems like the Democrats, the rhinos, and the liberals are obsessed with Russia. Could it have anything to do with the Hillary Clinton Uranium One connection and the signing over of 1/5 of our uranium production thanks to corrupt members of the Obama administration? The media loves to paint Donald Trump as a paranoid conspiracy theorist. But I, along with other millions of patriotic Americans, have seen Donald Trump prove himself to be right. So go ahead, liberals, Democrats, and rhinos. Continue to cry, continue to laugh, and continue to live in your own little Liberal safe spaces in your heads, believing that Donald Trump is wrong as he continues to do for America what is right. Stay informed, my fellow patriots.